Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 2, which considering that pretty much this episode is like the official start of the season, you could kind of consider this like an Episode 1, but Episode 1 was the recap, so like, this in itself is like the official start of the season. This is like the unofficial Episode 1, I guess you could say. Um, so... Now, picking up from where season 3 left off, we basically get the official introduction to the main villain of the arc, Overhaul, and Overhaul, in many respects, is just on a base like storytelling level. I can't lie, he is definitely one of the more complicated aspects of this arc to talk about. Because in many respects, he's definitely one of the best villains that the series could have started with, in the sense where him being a member of the Yakuza already shows just how much the world of villains was basically suppressed, but by All Might and All for One's existence, and how groups like the Yakuza and how groups like this are starting to resurface with pretty much both All for One and All Might having fallen from power. And this is actually, and I'm not gonna lie, like Overhaul and this arc in general, it does represent a very interesting theme, where in the first chunk of this post, of this post All for One and All Might, like hero villain society, you're gonna get a bit more of an episodic feel, but the story in itself is still going to continue. But it's going to be episodic in the sense where you're going to start seeing a lot more villain groups popping up, and a lot more of villains starting to starting to become a lot more ambitious and basically overtake society and whatnot. Like that's going to be kind of the growing theme of this arc. But having now, and like I said, Overhaul is definitely like the best start to that. The problem with Overhaul, however, is that Overhaul happens to be a case where because of a few narrative choices, you'll find that the arc does that this particular arc, it does kind of cave in around Overhaul. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but let's just say there's a lot of let's just say let's just say that things are that you're going to get all this almost a little bit too much build up with him as the villain, and that kind of also happens to kind of almost be its like biggest weakness, almost, in a way. And this isn't something, and this isn't just me saying it, though, because like the mangaka of My Hero Academia, Kohei Horikoshi, he's gone on record as saying that that when it came to this arc, he definitely wrote himself into a corner. And especially near the pretty much tail end with pretty much Overhaul. So like, yeah, Overhaul is basically part one of a pretty much two-part problem that was so yeah. Overhaul, well, I definitely stand by. He's actually a great villain. He is kind of part one of a two-part problem that kind of is gonna derail this arc just a little bit, honestly. But with that said, the arc itself is basically still an extremely good one. In the sense where it's showing us already that these villains are starting to pop up in the aftermath of All Might and All for One's fight. Now, one thing. Now, having said that, I may as well say at least one good thing about Overhaul, which is that, and one thing I do have to give Overhaul credit for in this episode, is that he actually just blew a gigantic hole in the whole shonen cliche of a character's dream with one simple question: do you have a plan? That is just one of those questions where it's simple enough, but when you really sit back and look at look at the importance of that question, as well as look at every single shonen cliche up to this point, every single shonen up to this point, most shonen have basically lived off the whole ideal of perseverance and hard work can help you achieve your dream and your goal. But the thing with those other shonen, like pretty much One Piece and like with Naruto and One Piece, and don't get me wrong, I love those series, but their biggest problem is that they never really address is that they never really address like the is that they never really address how are you going to make this happen, like, and especially with Naruto, I feel that was almost kind of the biggest narrative glitch I always had with Naruto. One Piece not so much because it is because of the way it's structured. Again, it's structured a little differently where that's allowed, but Naruto, that is, I guess, one of the biggest structural issues I had is it never addressed how Naruto planned to in order to make his dream come true. Um, and to be fair, again, I suppose that those other shonen series, like I said, had a premise that didn't really require the like planning aspect, but it's just nice to in order to finally see this one important question kind of being addressed again. Like I like it was different. It's definitely something that's addressed in like the really good in some really good shonen too, like pretty much Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist, but in your standard fare shonen, it's something that's not really addressed all that much, like what the plan of how they're going to achieve their dream is, and I really appreciated that, and one thing too is that it's definitely got with this one question of what's your plan, it's definitely got like from Shigaraki thinking now, which considering where the manga is. This encounter with basically Overhaul just feels all the more rewarding. Like trust, like it's something like this that is really going to put like from Shigaraki's whole Shigaraki's whole whole his whole his whole ideas and how he goes about things. Like everything with this arc is going to put his everything he does in perspective. Let's put it that way. Um, so with this episode, so another thing with this episode is that Izuku is going to start. Izuku is more or less is going to start his internship working with Mirio under All Might's previous sidekick Nighteye. And even before getting to that point in the episode, there are several key reveals building up to something that, like pretty much building up that something is clearly wrong. Like just the atmosphere between just the atmosphere alone between just alone in that one sentence that pretty much All Might had said about how things between him and Night Eye are awkward. Yeah, All Might. Yeah, just in that one word, just in that one phrase alone of All Might saying things between him and Night Eye are awkward. That's putting it mildly considered. That's putting it mildly like this episode in itself. It does kind of hint that between something happened between him and Night Eye where there's some seriously unresolved baggage for sure. And oh boy, I cannot wait to see the anime only watchers' reactions on this one. This should be entertaining for sure. Um, but and the other thing. But even more than that, we basically also get the reveal that for a time, like from Mirio was actually considered to be the successor to All Might before he even met Izuku. And from here, all I will say is that everything you thought you knew about the series from the very beginning, in terms of whether it's All Might and Izuku's relationship or just the story in general, like everything you thought you knew about the series is going to be completely thrown out the window. And in some respects, it already has with this reveal, but there's more to, trust me, there's more to this than, there's going to be even more to this. And it's, every reveal beyond this point is going to be insane. Like, the entire dynamic of My Hero Academia beyond this point is definitely going to change with when it comes to Izuku for sure. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Crunchyroll. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.